Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3.
Welcome to the stream!
Alright. Alright. Hey, what's word, players? How y'all doing? Hope y'all doing well. Yeah. So I usually have a plan for what to do for the stream, or when I'm streaming, but kind of just wanted to just use this opportunity to talk, share where things have been since I last streamed. Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably just gonna spend most of the time talking, and I don't know if I'm gonna have time to play anything afterwards, but yeah, figured I'd share some things that are going on, share some thoughts. Honestly, this hopefully by me sort of just talking about this kind of stuff, it can help me just like process and be able to move forward. But yeah, I guess before I get into how y'all doing, I hope you're having a good one. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving if you celebrate. Let me know what your favorite Thanksgiving dish was. I guess it would have been 2 weekends ago now. Went to an anime convention called Anime Magic, and it was a good time. There's actually 2 Anime Magics where I'm from. There's like the main one, and then I don't know if it was this year they started doing a smaller one. We went to the smaller one because we weren't able to make the main one earlier this year, but it was still pretty cool. Got some pretty cool merch. I don't know how well these will show up on stream, but full screen it. One of the things I got was there we go. Got Ichiban from Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. I'll be fully transparent. I have played Like a Dragon 7. I haven't beaten it yet because I wanted to beat through the other Yakuzas before this one. Even though I understand that 7 is a good entry point for the series if you've never played, but I already started Yakuza 0. Since I already beat Yakuza 0, Kiwami 1, and then make my way, I think I'm like nearing the end of Kiwami 2. And I'm like heavily invested into the series at this point. I kind of just want to continue playing through those before I finish my playthrough of Like a Dragon or Yakuza 7 before moving on to Infinite Wealth. I hear really great things. I do want to play it. But from what I played of Like a Dragon, Yakuza, or Like a Dragon 7, whatever it's called, each one is goated. Not sure if he'll top Kiryu or Majima, but he's lovable. So I got that. I got, actually this is still in its low back thing. Got Hatsune Miku. Alright, so now the really cool stuff that I got were these pins. These are like some holographic pins that change scenes as you rotate it up and down. I'm not sure how well this will show up. Trying to get the focus, but at the same time, I'm not sure it's because of the thing. Oh, okay. So that's Sonic, and you can see it. It's like the whole CRT thingy. So I got 3 of these. I got the one for Sonic 1. There's no way I could pass up the Spyro 1 start screen. And the last one I got was Persona 4. I thought these things were super cool. Honestly, there was so many pins they had of like different games, different scenes from anime shows and movies. It was so hard just to pick. If he is at another convention, I'm definitely hitting him up for my pins, because like I said, they're really high quality, and this was pretty cool. Haven't seen anything like that before. Yeah, I did that. What else has been? Obviously we had Thanksgiving. It was a nice break. Definitely needed that break from work, because it has been kicking my butt lately. I started dabbling in Linux. I have a dual boot setup on my PC, where I'm mainly using Windows, but I have Linux on a separate hard drive that I can boot into and just sort of play around with it, because I've always been interested in Linux, but I think I only know like one person that I used to work with a long time ago that used Linux before. Well, I guess it's like two people I know. One guy that I used to work with that primarily used Linux, and then one of the TOs at my local actually uses Linux. and really outside that, my only real exposure to Linux is actually through my Steam Deck. Once you load that into desktop mode, it's basically using not basically, it is using Linux. So it's actually been like a really cool way of like it being a sort of like an easy way to sort of get familiar with Linux. It's definitely made me more interested in trying it out. So I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with it. I'm just kind of seeing what I can do, and I'm not very savvy when it comes to writing command lines. It's part of the reason why I have a hard time making games or working on games, was having to develop or having to code different stuff. Like, I get it, but if it wasn't code that was already available online, I could just copy and paste. I have no clue how to come up with the logic of certain stuff. So it'll probably take a while to get used to, but I'm also using it's Mint that I'm running off of, so as far as I understand, it's a little bit easier to get into because it kind of mirrors Windows, which I can definitely see. Like, I haven't seen what Ubuntu or what any of the other distros look like, but I'd say that Mint's been working out pretty well from what I've used so far. Yeah, I'm just going to continue to play around with it. What else is going on? So I've started getting into FromSoft's Soulsborne series. It's surprising that it's taking me this long to finally get into games like Demon's Souls. I actually have played a little bit of Dark Souls at a friend's house, but like I said, it was only a little bit, and I got my butt handed to me hard in that game. So at this point, that's still the only Dark Souls game I've played. But I also have Bloodborne. I got Bloodborne last year for Christmas. But the thing is, I don't really play it on my PS4 that much, and still at this point, Bloodborne is still PS4 exclusive. I don't know how well it emulates on PC quite yet. I haven't kept up with news about that. But the funny thing is that there was a period where when my PC's hard drive went down, or was failing, and it's the hard drive that has a bunch of my YouTube, well, I'll say a bunch of my media related stuff, mainly stuff with YouTube. Actually, it's the drive that has like most of my YouTube stuff, from like videos and audio and different clips, different B-roll and stuff like that. And that hard drive was failing, which sucked. And the whole process of trying to back up what data I could back up from the failing hard drive, it left me without a PC for a while. So that's actually what prompted me to start playing Bloodborne. Was because I couldn't use my PC for a while, so I figured, well, might as well stay on the PS4. And well, I haven't tried Bloodborne yet, so let me give it a shot. And boy, people were not kidding. That game was hard. Bloodborne is difficult, but there's just something about it that keeps you coming back. It's so much fun. It's hard, but man, it's just so much fun. So then Bloodborne led me down to but actually first it was Bloodborne, and then something else that I started getting into was Lord of the Rings. I have read The Hobbit and I've seen the Hobbit movies. I prefer The Hobbit, but I never read or watched Lord of the Rings. I don't know, I somehow had it convinced that I wouldn't like high fantasy type stuff. The Hobbit was short enough, and I had to actually read it for school. I don't think I would have gone on my way to read The Hobbit, but it was for a class I took in high school and actually enjoyed it. And The Hobbit's not that long; it's a pretty short book. It was easily digestible, but like high fantasy or medieval settings is just not. For a long time, it was not my jam. Not to say that I didn't give it a shot, but just didn't seem like it interested me. But decided, I wanted to fix that, so I reread The Hobbit, if you can call listening to an audiobook of The Hobbit reading. And I finished that, and then I'm now going through Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, an audiobook for that. I will watch the movies at some point, but I figure I can listen to an audiobook. It makes it easier for me to follow along while I'm in the middle of doing stuff, and I'm really enjoying it. Like, I think the narration also helps because the quality of the narration is really good, but I'm really enjoying Lord of the Rings. And ironically enough, since I was already playing Bloodborne, they kind of lined up where I was like, you know what, since I actually don't mind high fantasy medieval settings, then we go ahead and try out Demon's Souls, the PS3 version of Demon's Souls. I know there is a PS5 version of a PS5, or do I really care for the PS5 version of Demon's Souls? It just doesn't seem, just from the comparisons I've seen, while it looks prettier, it seems like there was something that was lost in it. So actually playing through the PS3 version of Demon's Souls, and I'm really enjoying it as well. It is also kicking my butt. But I'm enjoying Demon's Souls, and honestly, it's taken me actually playing them for me to go, I get it. I get the hype around it. I think also part of the reason why I stayed away from Soft and the Bloodborne, Demon's Souls, the Souls-like gameplay, because it's not even like a genre that I'm super into outside of the few exceptions being Another Crab's Treasure, and I'm enjoying Star Wars Fallen Order so far. I haven't beaten it, but from what I played, I enjoyed. But part of the reason why I was like put off by the FromSoft Soulsborne games was, I think a huge part of it was the setting. Like, the difficulty wasn't what pushed me away, because I mean, I enjoyed games like Devil May Cry and Ninja Gaiden and different like different retro games, classic Castlevania. Like, I've played those, and so like the difficulty wasn't the thing that pushed me away. It pretty much was just the setting. I don't really care for I don't know, lack of color, dreary, depressing. Like, those kinds of settings. Rather, it's not something I naturally gravitate towards, especially since you take like Demon Souls and Dark Souls, and those came out during the time when gray and brown and just dull color palettes were all that you can find, and it just seemed like it was more of the same. So I was like, yeah, okay, it might not be for me. But oops. But no, I should not judge the book by its cover, because these games are great. I would definitely love to talk more about them in the video, but I want to actually beat the games. Like, I want to beat Bloodborne, I want to beat Demon Souls. I want to at least... Okay, so I feel like if I were to make a video, I'd want to at least beat either Bloodborne or Demon's Souls. Then I would definitely love to get into Dark Souls. I want to play through a bunch of these games from FromSoft. I don't know how. I mean, I guess if I were to make a video before beating a game, I'd have to think about what kind of video I'd want to make. But there's so many people that have talked about these games, like dissecting them and talking about so much about them, that I also have to wonder, well, is there anything new that I can add? But I don't know. It's definitely really, I'm enjoying it. Like, that's all I can really say. But yeah, no, I'm enjoying those games, and I was probably gonna. So the thing is, I was probably gonna make a video on this more towards the end of the month, but I actually kind of wanted to talk about this now, just so that if this does end up becoming a video, then well, or if it doesn't, then I can at least talk about it, get it off my chest, and then be able to talk about something else, or share like a truncated version of it. I don't know. I haven't got this planned out, but I have some stuff written down just to make it easier for me to organize my thoughts. Let's see. So lately, I have been streaming my playthrough of Virtual Quest, and part of it was, well, one, nostalgic factor of replaying that game, but also my plan was to make a video. I have a video, if you're unaware, on YouTube. I have a video series called Word of Mouth, where I give my first impressions, or I guess sometimes it could also be reviews of whatever game it is I'm talking about. So with the streams of me playing Virtual Quest, I had the game recording in the background, where after the stream was done, I could have a recording of just the game itself, so that I wouldn't have to rely on using my VODs that has me in the footage and any alerts that would have popped up or anything. It's essentially like killing two birds with one stone. I get to stream for y'all, and I get to have clean clean of like blanking clean footage for this video that I was working, and man, definitely feel like I had when I started. Excuse me. Definitely feel like when I started, I had so much drive to make it, and really, what prompted it was, funny enough, around this time last year was when we had the Virtua Fighter 6 or new Virtua Fighter reveal at the Game Awards. Which, side note, I'm hoping if there's another bit of Virtua Fighter news at the Game Awards that we get to see a lot more info, because man, I was really hoping that since that reveal a year ago, we would have had more trailers, more stuff to talk about, but it's just been tiny bits of news. It's been a little frustrating, but you know, after that announcement, and I was super hyped. That was actually hype enough to get me to make a react video, which is something I almost never do. Things that Virtua Fighter makes one do. Excuse me. So it's like after, you know, you got the reveal of that, and then you got Virtua Fighter 5 Revel stuff just coming in. Like I was gung ho on almost transitioning to a Virtua Fighter channel. There was so many ideas that I had, and there's a few things that I did. I did the Virtua Fighter 5 Revel Bingo, which I'm still proud of that. I do want to revisit that again. And I made a lore video for my main in Virtua Fighter, which is Pi. And I guess it's just for my main Pi, and indirectly also for Lao Chan, because he's tied heavily to Pi's story. And then this Virtual Quest video was gonna be a sort of a continuation of just like the stream of Virtua Fighter content that I want to make. But since there has been so little details about Virtua Fighter 6, and I mean so little details, not gonna lie, well, okay, yeah, since there was so little details of Virtua Fighter 6, it kind of made it hard for me to be motivated to keep working on this series. But you know, slowly but surely it was coming together. But earlier I had mentioned my hard drive was failing, and this was the hard drive that has a lot of my YouTube and content creating stuff on it. Well, thing is, when my hard drive was failing and ultimately went bad, a lot of my video files also were corrupted. And sure enough, the streams that I did for a Virtual Quest that I had recorded gameplay footage in the background to just have the gameplay, yeah, all but one of those were salvageable and the rest were corrupted. Not gonna lie, that was really devastating, because that was quite a bit of hours of work, and yeah, it's just kind of rough losing all that footage. Yeah, it's just kind of rough. Thing is, I could go back to Plan B and rely on my VODs that I have on YouTube. I believe, yeah, because on Twitch VODs go away after a certain amount of days. Plan B is I could use my VODs or even just footage from long plays from probably either World of Long Plays or Long Play Archive, whichever that has footage of Virtual Quest. I could go either route, but the thing is, the whole reason why I went through the effort of figuring out a way to record gameplay footage in the background while I stream was because I don't know, I wanted to have my own footage, and I don't know, it kind of just like messes with the look of the video by having my VOD footage where you see me in the bottom right hand corner, or footage from other YouTubers, other YouTube channels that's inconsistent from the quality that I had with my videos, because I can't control what happens in the video. So I don't know, it's a huge part of the deflation was the lack of control, which is something I have to, something I've got to work on, which I guess also kind of leads into my next point of why I have a hard time uploading on YouTube, because yeah, it seems like lately my uploads have been more and more spread out, and it's not as if, you know, I'm taking these long gaps to work on like movie like quality YouTube videos. No, the videos pretty much just stay the same, but the uploads are taking way too long. I've been at least under the name The Wordplay. I've been doing like this whole YouTube thing for about 5 years now, because I started in 2020. Gosh, it's going on almost 6 years. But yeah, it started in 2020. Technically, I've been making videos before. Well, technically, I've been making stuff, and I had like a video. Yeah, I've worked on some stuff not under the Wordplay name, but I guess this channel officially technically started in 2020, at least with the YouTube channel. But yeah, it's been like 5 years now. Kind of crazy to think how it still feels like 2020 was just yesterday, but yeah, it's been so far away, and yet I still feel like I have no clue what I'm doing. Man, there's like so many YouTube channels that I'm subscribed to and that I enjoy watching, and the thing is, I want to emulate their quality. I take notes of like what they do, what shots they do, what kind of like how their writing flows, and it's like, I don't know, it's like a lot of YouTubers that I really enjoy their work, and I want to emulate it because I want to be able to have that same kind of quality. But the thing is that a lot of the channels that I'm subscribed to, you know, these are channels that are like well established, they have a ton of subscribers, they're able to make content creating a full-time thing. They usually we're talking about YouTube, they usually have an editor or like a small team, some sort of hope to be able to make things easier, especially since they're doing it full time. With an editor or a small team, they can make some like really slick visuals and cool edits and stuff like that. And well, another thing is that since it's their job, their full-time job, they're kind of obligated to keep making content. Which that could be I mean, I'm not in that boat, but I can see how that could be both a plus and a minus depending on how you view it, I guess. Yeah, I am none of that. All that I just shared, I am none of that. And yet I'm like struggling to try to like punch above my weight to make the kind of stuff that I'm trying to make the stuff that I enjoy watching. The thing is, the stuff that I enjoy watching is probably a little bit out of my reach, at least in this current stage in life. Like, it was fine when like I started making videos in 2020 and I, like everyone else, got laid off because COVID lockdown, weren't able to go outside, couldn't go anywhere. So it was the perfect opportunity to start this whole thing. I'd actually thought about the whole idea of the wordplay for actually years, long time, but I was too scared to make videos or to stream or put myself out there. Number one thing was that I was too scared to put myself out there, but then number two was that I always told myself I don't have time. But it's like I got school, I got work, I got other priorities, which is true, but man, I'm kicking myself because I probably could have figured out a way to make it work back then. But yeah, if I was complaining through my 20s that I don't have the time to do this whole YouTube thing, I especially don't have the time now. Working full time. I got a cat earlier this year. He's lovely. I love that little guy. Yeah, he could be a handful sometimes. And of course, you need to play with your cat, and it can take a long time to tire him out. So, working full time, cat. Obviously, you got to spend time with the wife. Man, it's been tough trying to get into a routine to make stuff, especially since like when I started in 2020, you know, all this was new. You know, I had a lot of fun, like, for one thing, putting myself out there, and also making videos and learn how to make thumbnails, find a little bit of a way to incorporate art into my my everyday life, because I used to draw, but then I kind of stopped. But making thumbnails is kind of art in itself, just a different aspect of it. But no, I really enjoyed making. In the beginning, I really enjoyed making videos because it was so new. It was just so new. But now, what's been happening lately is I'm kind of retreating back into that that fear I had before I started making videos, which was I just don't have time. I just don't have time, and also fear but I'll get into that later. But another thing is that whereas in the beginning where everything seemed new and obviously you're gonna make a lot of mistakes, you're just trying whatever out there and seeing what sticks. Now I'm kind of at like, but I forget how many uploads that I'm currently at, but I'm at a point where like I want to elevate the quality of my videos. And because I want to elevate the quality, my perfectionist brain is kicking in overdrive. So now it's like, if I cannot match these YouTubers or these YouTube channels that are doing very well, that are very high quality, and whatever, if I can't match their quality, I'm not making this video. And I've done that several times. There's so many videos that I really wanted to make, but knew that I couldn't dedicate the time to make it in my head how I would like to make it, and so I just passed up on a lot of videos, which was foolish. It's foolish, but my brain didn't think that way. In my head, I'm thinking, oh, you've been on the platform for about 5 years. Well, you've been on the platform for 5 years, so your quality should be like, you need to have like 5-year quality work. But the thing is, that's not like a linear progression where it's like a steady slope. You know, sometimes it just ebbs and flows, and whatever editing style that you had when you first started is not going to be the same editing style that you do 5 years from now. Your interests change, you change. You know, but again, my brain is going, dude, you need to step it up. You need to have like quality. You need to have videos that are like the 100K channels that you watch, the million plus subscriber views that you watch, despite the fact that I'm nowhere there in subscriber count. Nor do I even think I want to be that big. That just seems stressful. That just seems incredibly stressful. What else did I have written down? Oh yeah. So taking a good thing, but taking it in a way that's maybe not so good. How I want to do is that I want to make stuff that I can be proud of, whether it be streams or videos. Like, I want to create content that I can be proud of if I were to look back on it. And obviously that's not going to change. Like, I still want to continue to make stuff that I'm proud of and that I can look back fondly. But the thing is that it's tied very strongly to perfectionism, that it's kind of paralyzing me from making stuff, you know? Like, I think the number one fear that I have in my head is making really bad, low effort stuff, which I guess the word of the day that I've seen being thrown around is making slop content. I don't want to, like, I don't want to be known as the dude that just makes slop. I want to make really good stuff. And I think that, and that's the good thing, and that's also the issue that I'm running into, is because I want to make really great stuff, but I'm too afraid of making mistakes now. Whereas in the beginning, the mistakes were all I could make, but you know, that's part of the learning process. But now I'm too afraid to make mistakes and try new stuff. I guess part of it is because, like, since I started out trying a bunch of different ideas, since algorithms are a thing, it's kind of like trying new things is discouraged unless you're like already a heavily established content creator. That's, you know, take like Maximilian Dood, for example. If I was to give an example, he is primarily known as the fighting game guy, the fighting game hype man. But the thing is, he's been around for so long that people enjoy him for his personality, and people will watch him for anything. He can play Final Fantasy VII or something Final Fantasy VII related, and people will love it. He can play something that's not related to fighting games or Final Fantasy VII, and people will watch because people love his personality. What's not to love about Maximilian Dood? I mean, okay, I guess people may not be crazy about him swearing, but other than that, you know, there's a reason he's huge. He's very entertaining. And so, I guess my fear is that, man, there's a lot of stuff built on fear. I've tried so many different directions that I'm not entirely sure what people want, and it's one of those things where it's like, if you try to please everyone, you will please no one. Although in my case, it's like, since I can't please everyone, I just don't make anything, and that's not great. I should be okay with making stuff. I should be okay with continuing to make mistakes. I should be okay with just putting stuff out there, and if it works, cool. If it doesn't, oh well, at least I made something and I can move on. So it's definitely something that I want to work on and try to, I don't know, it's definitely something that I want to address and see how I can move past that. Wow, I took a lot of notes here. Oh yeah, I'm too focused on trying to have this ideal vision of what I want the channel to look like, and there's nothing wrong with it, but I'm too rigid in how I want things to look that I'm not willing to try things and just put stuff out. Put stuff out. You know, I'm trying to reach the quality of channels much bigger than I am. And while yes, it gives me something to shoot for, it actually might be doing more harm than good, because it means I don't make anything because I can't reach the same quality, or it will take me a long time to make the same reach, you know, the level of quality. And I don't know, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, you know how like in movies nowadays, how abundant CG is used to, but how abundant CG is used in movies, like technically you can make movies of anything, and your imagination is the limitation, which I guess early on when CG was kind of new, that seemed like such an exciting proposition, but now you have movies that are just completely filmed in a green room or a green warehouse and everything is CG'd, that movies don't feel impressive. Like we now have the capability of making, you know, so many you know, crazy worlds, these crazy effects, these crazy suns and stuff like that. But part of what makes early movies, before the abundance of CGI, what made early movies special was how they worked with what they had. Using different practical effects to creative different ways, using puppets, using animatronics, using just how certain ways of using lighting to create something that the viewer themselves has to use their imagination as to what something looks like. But it's all about how you frame it. I don't know if this makes any sense, but the point I'm getting at is that creativity based on limitation is beautiful, and I guess that's like the thing that I'm like, I need to hone in on, because I wanna like make like really high quality stuff. And I mean, at this point I'm like really proud of what I've made so far. Like I can't think of every single video that I've made now. There's actually way more. It's actually at a point where I've made enough videos that it's hard for me to remember every single one, but some stuff that I can think of off the top of my head that I'm really proud of is, you know, the PyChan lore video, the fighting game or Bible verse video, me drawing with my fight stick, back when I made these, what do you call it, no, what if X character was a Christian? I kind of want to continue that. would like to continue that. You know, there's definitely something I'm proud of. But I think what I want to do is I need to find a good balance of making the stuff that I really want to make that may take a little bit more time, but making smaller, easier stuff that, yeah, may not be the fanciest, yeah, may just consist of mostly me being in front of the camera talking, but it's something that I can get out. I can share Bible verses. I can talk about different topics. I can talk about games I find really cool. I don't know. I could like find ways to just keep it simple, not burn myself out. Which it's definitely been a theme that I've been trying to do this year, but I've tried and failed multiple times. That is something that I wanna, that I hope can be something that I nail for 2026. Is how to find that balance. Yeah, that was a lot of yapping. That was a whole lot of yapping. So earlier I mentioned Virtual Quest and how my plan was to work on a video for that, but a lot of my footage got corrupted when my hard drive went down. I don't know. I don't know if people find it interesting me streaming that. Because part of the reason why I was streaming it is because like I feel like I could probably, I'm getting gameplay footage out of the way, regardless if I'm recording offline in my own time or if I'm streaming for y'all, but I happen to be recording the game while I'm doing it. I'm down to continue playing Virtual Quest. It's actually been really cool to have people come by and they're actually introduced to the game for the first time through these streams, which is really cool. I actually want that same effect, but when I upload the video, and hopefully YouTube pushes it out, but we'll see. Especially since I've haven't uploaded in like a month. Actually, I think it has been a little bit over a month because that was last video was the non-horror games that scared me, and that was in time for Halloween. So yeah, I definitely need to start making stuff because I don't think I made a single video in November. But sorry, I got sidetracked. I would be okay with continuing to stream Virtual Quest, but if y'all aren't interested and would rather me play something else, I could also do that. At this rate, I'm not even, unless I lock in. It's hard to say if I'll be able to make the Virtual Quest word of mouth before the year is over. I want to at least try. Like, I want to at least be able to say that I tried. but that's probably like the biggest project. I don't know why, but air quotes it is actually a project. That's probably the biggest project that I have going on, is to make the Virtual Quest word of mouth. But I don't know. There's definitely want to try to keep things simple. Let's say I want to keep things simple, but I'm also reminded of the other things I said I wanted to try out, because I need to get back into Japanese. Learning Japanese kind of fell off that, so like get back into Japanese. I totally was supposed to start developing games, or like a game, if it was just like a really small one. I haven't done it. So there's definitely, man, there's a lot. I wish there was a way to like I don't know. Only one guy. I don't know how one guy's supposed to do all this. But yeah. Virtual Quest, that's the main, or that's like the big thing I want to work on. I want to try to get some smaller stuff out, whether it be through that was part of what that one series I meant to take off, training room ramble, where I just hop in the lab in a fighting game, and while I'm labbing out stuff I ramble about stuff. That's actually what the purpose of that video series was supposed to be, but again, perfectionist brain kicking in. I kind of just I stopped that super early, but I need to revive that, or maybe I can just talk in front of the camera again like this. Keep it real simple, keep the editing somewhat light. But still, I don't know, still be good content. But I don't know, there's things I gotta think of. There's things I have to think of, and then of course, I don't know, I just need a routine. I think the two things I need are a routine and accountability, because yeah, unless I have that, it's gonna be real hard for me to just rely on. Like I can be self motivated up to a certain point, but once I lose that, like I guess you won't see me until another month. I don't want to do that. Like, I want to be able to keep making stuff. So I need to establish a routine. I need to have some kind of accountability. I don't know what that would look like, but I definitely think it would be something that would help me out a lot. Do I have any other notes? I totally went off track and I didn't even look at my notes. Oh yeah, I don't have anything now. I guess I covered all my notes, and that was everything that I had to share. I don't think I'm gonna make a video on this. I'll probably towards the end of the year, I do have a video idea that I have in mind, but I'll probably share, maybe not everything that I shared here, but share, I guess, I can talk more, or I can share about things that I was thinking about and feeling tonight. In that towards the end of the year type video, I might not touch on every single thing, but at least probably like the big things that I was going through this year. But yeah, like as I kind of figured, this was mainly just gonna be just a talk, just me just talking, getting some stuff off my chest, stuff that I really wanted to talk about for a while now, but kind of just, I don't know, just kind of worked through it and talked about it. Talked about it with my wife and friends, but like when there's only one person that I know of that does YouTube, but he's so busy. He has a wife, kid, and he has his own family. So I'm able to talk and catch up and connect. So you don't have people to like share like what this kind of stuff's going on. And I don't know, maybe if I remember this VOD, I can, if things improve and say a year or two from now, like I'm actually uploading way more and streaming way more than I've ever done, I can look back on this, go, and yeah, you're definitely going through it, but okay, now I kind of lost my train of thought. But yeah, that's probably gonna be it for tonight. Again, it's mostly just talking. Probably just like the next time the stream we'll play something. Hey, what's up, Mark? How you doing? Yeah, been well, just talking about some stuff. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Yeah, probably. Yeah, of course. Yeah, next time that we'll definitely be playing something. Will it be Virtual Quest, or will it be something else? I guess we'll find out. Like I said, I need to figure out some sort of schedule and routine, or I guess it's the same thing. I need to figure out a routine. The routine will make it a lot easier to be consistent, not just with streaming, but with making videos. Thank you. Yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts. It's getting late. Probably gonna end it here, call it a night. I'm so sorry that they came in like asking about the sign off, but yeah, it's my bad. Oh, I need to. That's also another thing I need to try to work on. Once I figure out a routine, try to like stream earlier. I usually just have to like try squeezing what time that I can get after hanging out with the wife, the cat, and getting everything that I need done. I literally I cannot stream. I cannot do any sort of content creating in a dirty house. Like if there are dishes or if there's like garbage that needs to be taken out or whatever, like I can't stand it. I cannot do anything if I know that there's chores that need to be done, which is good because there's definitely streamers that neglect so many things in their life to stream. But I need to find a good balance. But as a side note, that's not important. But maybe I'll figure out a way to stream sooner. But that'll be for another time. But Mark, thanks for stopping by. You have a great night as well as anyone else that's watching. Thank you for sitting through my whole rambling, but stuff that's going on. Hope you're doing well. Take care of yourselves, and I will see y'all next time. Peace.